I will definitely have to say that one thing about the Star Wars franchise that really kind of gives us a light at the end of the tunnel is Bob Chapek being on board as the new Disney CEO, and really providing all of these resolutions for Star Wars in general to really bring us on a better path to authentic Star Wars stories to arrive in the near future. This is Mike Zeroh. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars is that one thing that we do know is that Chapek and Iger are really working hard together as a team to really kind of give us a better version of the Star Wars universe, right? If you look at the Disney sequel trilogy, obviously there's a lot of fans that really do despise that trilogy, and there's also fans that actually think it's quite okay. You know, it's more than a divide, I will agree about that. I think it's more than a 50-50 divide. There is a large chunk of Star Wars fans that are very well against the sequel trilogy era and exactly what Chapek has actually, done, of course, now, and what he's trying to do for the new EU. Is that something to really look forward to is because, well, Kathleen Kennedy no longer has creative control over any of these Star Wars projects that are in the early development phase, except for the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series, which we will be getting into a little bit later on today. But one thing about Chapek is that he is still being guided by Bob Iger for the time being to becoming the proper CEO that he needs to be to take on Star Wars, Marvel, and more, as well as the theme parks in question as well, to really kind of bring Disney back on its feet during this crisis. Now, moving on from all of this, with Bob Iger now back helping the new CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek, on how to properly run a company as big as Disney, and to get it through the crisis that's happening around the globe, they are also trying to save their image for the Star Wars franchise moving forward. Now, it's explained that Bob Chapek has a big vision for the future of Star Wars and exactly how it should be handled in order to gain the trust of many unhappy fans from the sequel trilogy films. Now, with woke culture essentially being a common trend in Hollywood and in television, Bob Chapek is described to have a plan to end woke culture within the Star Wars franchise and to actually prevent it from taking over the entire Star Wars brand. Now, it's said that he wants to give the fans authentic Star Wars stories that focus on character development and an actual plot rather than focusing on political agendas and more within the Star Wars brand. Chapek is already working hard on making Star Wars as great as it can be by abandoning woke culture within the Star Wars universe. All but one project is said to contain this approach, and that is the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series by Kathleen Kennedy, since she has full creative control over the new TV show. Keep in mind, guys, that Kathleen Kennedy still has creative control over this new TV show. She's still a part of Lucasfilm when it comes to creative control for one project. Thankfully, it's only one project before she plans to depart Lucasfilm sometime in 2021 next year. Moving on. Now, he is described to already be working with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau in order to create a better future for Star Wars fans and to ensure that the franchise can be the best it can be by doing away with personal agendas in the Star Wars films and the upcoming Star Wars TV series as well. Identity politics are actually said to not become a part of Star Wars with the High Republic, since Chapek ordered for all of it to be redone, which is going to take away all of Kathleen Kennedy's ideas and concepts, where this will also apply to the new films set to arrive in the coming years that will evolve the franchise. Now, guys, let me say, the High Republic, it really got a lot of mixed reviews upon just seeing the cover art and what Kathleen Kennedy wanted to do. I don't know if you guys were aware, but Kathleen Kennedy wanted no wars in Star Wars anymore, at least for that timeline. She wanted to actually develop a timeline that would essentially be no wars at all. And to me, that just makes absolutely no sense. How can you have no wars in a brand that is called Star Wars, right? Now, woke culture is actually something that hardcore fans especially have not approved of within the Star Wars franchise under Disney, since it takes away from the story and the overall plot of several projects. Chapek is trying to create his own legacy to become accepted by the fans, and that what he wants to do is to give the fans something to look forward to in order to make things right for Star Wars in general. Bob Iger is also said to be involved with this major decision, and that what he wants to do is to regain the lost fans from what Kathleen Kennedy Kennedy did to the previous Star Wars films. They are both trying to undo the mess created by Kathleen Kennedy, and that this is described to be a big challenge for the two, which is why they have Filoni, Favreau, and Lucas all working together to develop a better future for Star Wars for this new expanded universe that will be larger than the old one from the 1990s and the 2000s. So, this is the thing here. We've seen a common trend of woke culture really taking over movies in Hollywood and television on air. You know, such as cancel culture becoming a new common trend as well, which I really do think has to be abandoned. And we can see that Chaypek really has a real vision for Star Wars. He's really trying to embrace, Lucas, Favreau, and Filoni to really bring in proper stories, as opposed to just trying to push a proper agenda. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.